And you lead us and you guide us on how to build right now, Father God. Father God, I ask that you teach us about the great escape, Father God. Teach us about this word that you have given us on today, Father God.
Yes, Lord.
Teach us about who Job was, Father God.
Yes, Lord.
Teach us about the servants that brought the messengers, Father God.
Yes, Lord.
Teach us about every priest and crevice, Father God, of this word, Father God.
Yes, Lord Jesus.
Father God, I ask that you let us know, Father God, and you remind us that you are the only way out.
Yes, Lord.
And we just want to say thank you for the
Thank
great
you,
escape.
God. Thank you for it,
We
God.
thank you for your living word.
Thank you,
For
Holy
your
Ghost.
word is living, Father God, and true. I ask that you rain down your righteousness upon
Rain down
us
your
right now,
righteousness
Father
upon
God.
us, Lord.
Rain it down on us, Father God. Father God, I ask that you open our minds and our hearts, Father God, so that we will see what thus says the Lord, Father God. And I ask that you let this word be a change upon our lives, Father God. Father God, and remind us, Father God, that there is a way out of whatever circumstance or situation that we may be facing on today. In Jesus' most precious name, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
So now, some fun lesson today. I'd like to have some fun. Okay. God gave me the name of this lesson, and it's called The Great Escape. Okay, and it said, you know, I studied it. The name of it. Why the name of The Great Escape? Well, we're going to read on and we're going to find out why. But first, before we begin, I want to read to you what the word escape means. Okay? Escape means to break free from. Okay? Confinement or control. Flee, make off, take off. Okay? So you might wonder, like, well, what did Job escape from? It's not Job. This is not talking about Job escaping from something. Well, actually, it is. Okay? Every great man of God, I found that they had a great escape. Okay? You know, if you think of Houdini, okay? When you think of Houdini and you think how he's in a box and he has all of these locks and chains on him and he uses whatever he uses and then boom, he comes out. Right? When you think of a great escape, you think of just different things. I like to think of an escape also too of prisoners. If you've ever seen the Shawshank Redemption, okay, you see that they make all of these tools, right? They make all of these tools and they try, they make shanks. They may chisel at corners of the room and they may hide things. You know, they work at escaping for years, okay? They work at escaping for years. They will work at it. They will create all of these things just to, you know, try to get out of this prison, okay? Now, when you think about the Shawshank Redemption, I think at the end of that movie that there was people got caught again, okay? But whenever you think of people escaping from a place, okay, even especially a prison, usually they get caught again, okay? So the only way out is to serve all your time, okay? It's not a good idea to try to escape from somewhere in your own strength, okay? And create your own tools and try to make your own things and try to, you know how we do. We try to come up with these bright ideas to get out of whatever situation we're in instead of allowing the Holy Spirit to lead us out of the place. Because we got to serve our time. We got to do whatever it is that God has planned for us to do. And then there comes a what? Release. Okay? You already have a release date. When you think of a prisoner, they already have a release date. Okay? They have a date when they're going to come. Remember, even sometimes you got to go before the judge. Okay? When you go before the judge, you better hope you can get to see the judge. Because sometimes, even when you're in a prison, you may not get to see the judge. You have to wait. There's a certain amount of time you have to wait before you even go and see the judge. Now, God has given these examples because we're going to go back to these little examples. Because as we're going to read this, he's going to show us something about this. I'm going to read this. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13 says, "There hath no temptation taken you, but such as in common to man." Common. Common means that we have things in common. I have things in common with you. I may have things in common with you. I may have things in common with you. We all have things in common. And what we have in common here is that we all come here to serve the Lord. So we have a common ground. Okay? That's why we're here together. All right? But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. Okay? But will with the temptation also make a way to what? Escape. Okay? That ye may be able to bear it. Okay? Now, we have things in common, but God may not take me through what you're going through, or what you're going through, or what you're going through. Because we have a different outlook. We have a different common ground. Okay? We have things in common, but my situation may be different. Okay? But you may have heard about it, or somebody may have went through whatever you went through. You know, all of this is common situations that happen from the day-to-day basis. Okay? But he's not going to give you the same thing he gave me, because I may be stronger in different areas than you. Okay? So, your situation may be different from my situation. But everything able to bear. Now, I was thinking about this, right? I was thinking, well, God, that means that even the unbelievers, you know, whatever trials he take anybody through, like, you know, he don't never give anybody too hard, whatever it is to bear, right? There's nothing, you know, too hard for God. But what about unbelievers? I mean, like, he even gives them situations that I'm gonna give you something that you can bear, but they don't even know to trust God. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking about different ways to look at this thing. Okay, we're gonna even go back to that. More examples with that. Okay? Now, we're going to learn that there are two types of circumstances and two types of situations that occurs here in this book of Job. Okay? We're going to read. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. Okay? And that man was perfect and upright. Okay? And one that feared God. He feared God. And he shewed evil. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. Okay? His substance also was 7,000 sheep. Now here it is, Job was pretty well guy. Okay? 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she-asses, and of every great household. So that this man was the greatest of all the men of the East. He was greatest of all the men. He had over 20,000 livestock. I mean, this man had over 20,000 livestock. This one man having over 20,000 livestock, let's think about this. Job cannot watch 20,000 livestock. Okay? He can't. Okay? That's impossible. Right? So what Job had to do, let's think about it. I'm sure he had to elect people to watch different portions of this livestock. Okay? So, you know what it makes me think of? You know, how we are God's livestock. Okay? We work for him. Okay? In the country, you have the President of the United States, right? But then it's broken down into states. Each state has what? A governor. Each governor of the state has what? Cities, mayors, okay? You understand where God is taking us to, so that we can be able to understand the amount of accountability that Job has, but he cannot watch all of these things at one time. Just like the president. He can't be everywhere at one time either. But we know who can. We know that God is the overseer of all these things. He is the shepherd of the shepherds. Amen? Amen. Okay? Now, and his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called for 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. Every one his day. They talking about his birthday. They want his birthday, they want to get a little, you know, come on over, let's have some drinks, let's hang out. Y'all want to hang out? You know? Okay? Now, it says here, and it was so when the days of their feasting were gone about, they having a good time, they feasting, okay, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning and said, it may be that my sons have sinned. May is like might. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But just in case, I want to give sacrifice to them. I know my kids. Let me just sacrifice some things, because, okay? And curse God in their hearts. Okay? Thus did Job continually. So, Lord, I'm praying for my kids. I'm praying for them. They out there. They doing whatever they doing. I'm praying, I'm seeking God. Lord, protect them, keep them, lead them, guide them. Whatever they're doing, Lord, I just want you to cover them. Okay? Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. I was like, the sons of God. So when I looked it up, I'm like, the sons of God. Okay, so it's like the angels being the sons of God. Okay? Now, came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them. Satan came also among them. So you got the sons of God and the angels, and you got the devil coming too. Among them. I don't know if nobody invited you, Satan. You just coming on among them. You say that he came with them. It said that he came among them. Amen? Okay. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? What you doing here, Satan? I'm sure he knew he was coming. He's the Lord. Amen? Okay. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down it. Oh, I'm just hanging out. I'm walking up and down, I'm going to and from, I'm looking at people. I'm doing whatever I do, causing whatever chaos I cause. That's what I do. That's my job. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? You checking for Job? You checking for him? That there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and sheweth evil. Job is all right. Job is rich. He got things going on. He interceding for his family. Things are going well for Job. Okay? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Job, fear God for not? Job, fear God or not? Hast not thou made a hedge about him and about his house, and about all that he had on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands. Job got a hedge around his house. Job, okay. You taking care of him. Things are looking on the up and up for Job. Okay? And his substance is increased in the land, but put forth thy hand now, and touch all that he had, and he will curse thee to thy face. He only acting like this because you gave him all that he got. If he never had these things, he wouldn't trust you. You ever been in a place where people look at you like, you only acting like that because you got this stuff. You only going to that church because of what's going on there. You only coming there because, you a part of that. You want to say, I'm a part of this, but you don't really mean that you're going. You don't mean that. You don't do nothing there. You ain't helping nobody. You just only coming here because that's why you coming here. You ain't getting no Jesus there. You know how people do. Okay? So, put forth thy hand now and touch all that he had, and he will curse thee to thy face. The moment you do something, he gonna curse you to your face. That's the only reason why you all are coming here, because you just want something. So the moment they tell you no, you're gonna say, I ain't going there no more. That's what the devil trying to do. Okay, so God is showing you in a natural sense what the word is saying here. Okay? And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. All that we got up in this church, everything that we got up in here is because of God. Amen. Every single thing that you got is because of God. Okay? So when people try to come to you, want something from you, and be like, you only acting like that because you this, or you got this, or you got that job at that place. That's the only reason why you acting like that. No. I've been like this before I got the job. Okay? And you're going to see, okay, that even if I didn't have this job, I'm still going to trust the Lord. Even if I didn't live in this big house, I'm going to still trust the Lord. Even if my marriage is all messed up and jacked up because you just doing it because you married. Even if it's messed up, and I'm going to still trust the Lord. Okay? I've always trusted the Lord even before I've had all of these things. But the devil want to see, do you really trust the Lord? Because you just trust in the Lord now because things is going good for you. That's the only reason why you trust in the Lord. That's the only reason why you come to church. That's the only reason why you teaching. Because they give you stuff there. I bet they give you stuff there. Do you get a check for teaching? Do they give you money? Are they giving you money there? I don't know if they're giving her money. Is that why she being consistent? Her father probably giving her money. You know how people be doing. Amen. That's probably why she just keep teaching. Because he just keep giving her money. I bet he be sliding little money to her on the side. So she want to keep teaching and teaching and teaching because, you know, that's what he doing. So that's why she, no. I love it.
Amen.
Okay?
Amen.
I love it. Amen. I enjoy it.
That's right.
And even when he's not around me,
Amen. Yes.
I'm still in my word.
Amen.
Even when he goes on the road on his journey away, I'm still here.
Amen.
Even when he go home to be with Jesus, I'm still going to be here.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
Amen. Okay. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself put forth not thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. You can touch everything else, but don't touch him. Now let's look at how silly the devil is. Okay? The Lord already told Satan he is perfect. The Lord already told Satan that he is an upright man. So you already know who I am in the Lord. Satan already know who you are in the Lord. He already knows you. So I want to know, why is Satan so foolish to come mess with you? Why are you coming for me if you already know who I am? I don't even understand why you making this plot to come for me if you already know who I am. Because remember, the devil seeks whom he may devour. He's not going to just come at you like, boom! No, he's been watching you for a while. He's been watching you. He's watching the way you move. He's watching what you do. He's getting to know who you are. He knows. He's getting to know. He's seeing what you like. He's seeing what's drawing you. He's seeing what you like to taste, what you like to eat. What is it that I can do to draw them? He got to learn about you in order to hook you. Okay? He got to learn about you in order to put you in prison. The only way to get put in prison, you know, you got to do something, right? You know? So what do people that go to prison for? There's something set up. They go rob a bank. They go kill somebody. They go do whatever it is that they do that's set up for them to do. And then what happens? They get locked up. This is not something that just sporadically happened. Boom. There's always a plan. It's a plan that occurs not just in the natural, but in the spirit also. Okay? So you got to learn, if the devil is seeking whom he may devour, he's creeping. You know, this is how he's doing. He's moving around. He's looking around. He's not just like, you know, like, that's not what happens. Okay? He's seeking. He's watching. Okay? He's watching the way you move. He's watching what you do. He's watching what presses your buttons. He's watching you. Okay? He's listening to you. Okay? Now, before he do whatever he do, he already know who you are. Because just as the Lord did here, he told us. Right? Look at that. You considering my servant? Job? You talking about the one that there's none like over there in the earth? On the earth? In the east? That's who you talk about? Yeah, I'm talking about him. Devil, are you delusional? Look at this. You talking about that perfect and upright man? This is God saying this. You got to understand this. If God said that I am a woman of God, and you try to come and attack me and say you ain't no woman of God, you ain't speaking no word of God, but God already called me a woman of God. You heard him say it. He already told you, this is a woman of God. This is a teacher. This is who I have called to teach at a time such as this. And if you say, oh, no, she ain't doing nothing. She ain't right. That ain't real what she doing up there. Whatever it is that you're saying. God already told you who I was. The same thing for you. Okay? The enemy already was told who you was. You want to come for them? Okay? I've already ordained them. This is their job. This is their position. This is their position. Wherever you at, this is your position. It cannot be taken from you because I gave it to you. You already know who they are. So you can touch everything around them. You try to touch my check. You can try to touch my kids. You can try to mess up my time. You can try to try to shut my lights off. You can try to steal my packages off my porch. You can try to do whatever it is that you're trying to do to me, but you can't touch me. You can't touch me.
Amen.
Which means that this is not going to affect me.
No.
You can't touch me. You can try to touch my kids. You can try to touch everything around me. But you can't touch me. Isn't that something? You can try to touch I want you to get it in your mind what God is saying. You can try to touch everything around me. You can try to touch my marriage. You can try to touch my kids. You can try to touch my job. You can try to touch everything around me. You can try to touch my house. You can try to touch my livestock, because the livestock is the livelihood. Okay? When these people come and kill these animals, this is how Job makes his money. You can try to touch my finances. You can try to touch all of that. But you know you better not touch me. That means that just because all of these things are happening, it's not going to affect you. You're like, well, I'm going to be affected by this. Oh, I'm going to be in this thing for so long. Because let me tell you, when I was reading Job, I had to skip some of this. I'm like, I was getting tired of Job. Job, you keep complaining about this. Job, you keep complaining. Job was in the middle of this. He's talking about, you don't know. You ain't the one with these sores on your body. Because he's going to begin to have a conversation with some other guys about what's happening to him. You know, this is what we do. Anytime we going through something, we want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. I want to tell you what they doing to me. I want to tell you how they treating me. I want to tell you what he said to me. I want to tell you what she said to me. I want you to know everything that's going on. No, but listen, because look, this is the other person. God is going to help you. God going to help me. You ain't got going on what I got going on. You ain't never been through this before. No, but you remember we just read. We all got something in common. We all need an escape. We all got something in common. We all need to escape. So we all in a place. We all in this place. We all got something in common. We all got to break free. All of us. That's the common ground that we need to escape. Okay? So can you imagine being in a prison? And you want to get out? Can you imagine being in a place? Because every situation that you're in, that you're going through, it feels like you locked up in it. Your family attacking you, the people at your job, people talking about you. Whatever it is, it feels like a circumstance of being imprisoned. Because it's like you can't get out of this. Whatever it is, your finances, your bank account looking a little low. Like, you feel imprisoned by that. You feel like this. But you got to remember, God had to give the devil permission to do whatever it is that's happening within your life. He can't just do it. So it's all for his glory. It's all for his glory. But you got to understand this. See, we don't understand this because we start complaining like Job. We're going to keep going. Now, and there was a day when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking. Them kids always eating and drinking, ain't they? Wine and in the eldest brother's house, at the oldest brother's house. Okay? Now, you know if they eating and drinking, they ain't paying attention to what's going on. They probably drunk by then because they've been eating and drinking a long time. It's the birthday. They having a good old time. Yeah. God is humorous too. Okay? And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen are plowing and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabaeans fell upon them and took them away. The Sabaeans were a type of people. Okay? I think the Sabaeans were for Sheba. Okay? Fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. I'm the only one that escaped to tell me. To tell thee. Now remember when we talked about the countries, okay? They have to have someone elected over each place, okay? Now mind you, this is what I was figuring. Where was you at when they was killing all of these people? The one that's getting away. Okay? I'm saying, where was he at? How did he get away? How did he get away? from reading this, God let me know that there's always going to be one to be able to tell the story. Okay? Job had to know exactly what was happening here. Okay? Because you know, if you don't know what something is happening, it's like you be feeling like, what happened? I don't really know what happened. We're going to keep reading. Okay? We're going to talk about the different attacks. Okay? While he was yet speaking, now look, it's one thing after the next. These people are coming, because while I'm coming to tell you this, somebody else coming to tell you something. Somebody else coming to tell you something. It's just one thing after the next. You ever heard somebody say, if it ain't one thing, it's another? This is what's happening here. Okay? It says, while he was yet speaking, okay, you mean, oh, I was going to say, while he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of God is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. There's another escape. Was he? How did you escape? Okay? While he was yet speaking, he telling the story. Listen, all of the sheep got burnt up, and when, you know, the fire fell from heaven, while he's speaking, here comes another one. There also came another and said, the Shalders, these were another type of people, okay, made out 3 bands and fell upon the camels and have carried them away and slayed the servants with the edge of the sword. They cut them, they killed them, stabbed them up. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. How you get out of there? Where was you at, man? Was you watching from afar? Was you not looking around? I want to know, how did you get away? Okay? While he was yet speaking, now while he telling his story, okay, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking. They was eating and drinking again. Wasn't they eating and drinking again? They love to eat and drink wine. In their eldest brother's house. And behold, came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house. And it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell you. Where was you at when the house fell down? I mean, like, where were all of these people at when this was happening? I mean, have you ever thought about this? Because we focus on Job, but we don't think about the people that escaped. Okay? The people that escape are a very important part of this story. And the reason why they are so important is because they had to be the ones to tell the story. Can you imagine if his livestock just got killed and he didn't know what happened? Can you imagine if the house just fell down on the kids, or the kids, he come home and the house is just down, you don't know what happened? He has to be able to tell what happened, because he has to be able to tell how the story began. And this is how he made it out, because Job is going to escape also. Okay? Now, you got 2 different type of attacks. You got an attack by man, the Sabaeans and the Shalders, and then you got a natural disaster attack. That's by the wind, and you have the wind and you have the fire. These are natural things. These are natural things that can't be caused by man. So what the devil wanted to do, what God wanted to do and show the devil, I'm going to cover every outlet. I'm going to cover every outlet. I'm going to come at Job every kind of way. So you can't say, well, you didn't try him this way, but you didn't try him that way, but you didn't try him that way. So I'm going to let a storm come, okay? Remember the people in Hurricane Katrina? That was a natural disaster, okay? They know, you know that nobody can come and stir up the wind. That had to be God, okay? So what God is doing now, he's showing him that he is in control of everything. So you're not going to be able to blame the wind or man. I'm going to use every outlet so you can see how you can come at him from every angle, and he's still going to trust me. Okay? I want you guys understanding. If you have any questions, raise your hand and ask me. Okay? So that's why God did 2 different attacks. Okay? So what's happening is everybody is, each servant, okay, had a different story to tell. Okay? Each servant had a different story to tell. We are all servants. We are all in different places. We are all a part of the same body. but we all are a part of the great escape. Why are we all a part of the great escape? It's because we know the way out. He is the way.
Amen.
I am the way. We know the way out. So if we know the way out, we got to go and tell others about the way out. Okay? We got to tell others about the other way out. So if a windstorm came and affected me, Hurricane Katrina came and blew my house down, I got to let you know. Okay? If someone came and got killed and they were murdered in my family, that's another kind of servant. I'm going to let you know. If someone came and then there was some other kind of disaster or whatever it is that happened, I'm going to let you know. There's 4 different kinds of servants here. Okay? 4 different kinds of servants went to Job to tell Job a different kind of story. A different effect that happened. Okay? Because we usually just think of Job, but you're not thinking about the messengers that came to tell Job. We are all messengers. We all have a common ground. The way. He is the way out.
Yes.
Okay? He is the way out. Now, there's all types of things happening here. Every which way. It affected the livestock. That's his job. It affected the house. That's his family. Now, look at what the devil was trying to do. The devil was trying to come for his heart. If you ain't got no money, you don't feel so good. Where you going? What you going to eat? What's going to happen? If a family member dies in your family, oh my God. You're broken. It's sad. Even if no one dies in your family, if they are taken away. See, the devil wants to attack something that's going to affect your heart. Okay? He going to attack nothing that's, because he wants to attack your heart. You know, you would say a heart attack. He wants to attack your heart. Okay? That's the devil's goal. That is how he wants to put you in prison. Okay? That's how he wants to put you in the place where you don't see the way out. So whatever situation you're in, he don't want you to see the way out. He wants you to be in the jail like Shawshank Redemption, making up these tools. He wants you to be chiseling. He wants you to be trying to work at, trying to break out of a place on your own, in your own strength, and not waiting for your release date. He don't want you to wait for your release date. He don't want you to continue to build your houses and continue to plant your gardens. He don't want you to do those things. He wants you to just crumble and fall. That's what he was trying to do, make Job fall. He was trying to tell him, he ain't going to still trust you. My kids has disrespected me. They done left me. They done cursed me. He wants you to just crumble. He wants you to just fall. He wants you to look away. He wants these pastors out here, he wants them to turn away from the church. Because I ain't got no members and they not paying their tithes. That's what he wants them to do. Amen. He wants them to focus on the problems, but he don't want them to focus on the promise, which is the way out.
Yes.
So that's why he always has to set some servants in a place that makes it out.
Amen.
So when I come out of this situation, and I'm in a situation, and my marriage is messed up, and things aren't going right, and things aren't okay, he gives me a messenger to tell me about my way out.
Yes.
When I'm all messed up and things are not going right and my finances are not right and I can't pay my bills and I'm looking at things and I can't put things together and things aren't working, he gives me a messenger to tell me about my way out. When I'm all messed up and I can't think of things to say and my speech isn't good and I don't speak well around people and oh my God, and he gives me a messenger to see my way out. He gives me a messenger. When I'm all alone and I wanted to be in a marriage and I wanted to be married and I wanted to have a relationship, or when I'm all alone and things don't look good in my marriage and things don't look good in my life, or things don't, he gives a messenger that escaped to tell me that there's a way out. I made it out. People like to focus on Job, but they don't like to focus on the messages. The messages. This was one of the most important parts of the story, the messages. He said, I made it out. I want to know, where were you at when you made it out? Because if the house fell down on the 4 corners, what part of the house were you in? Well, I was in the basement because I know that's the place to go. I know when the house falls, I want to go down in the basement. I know that. Because I have to be able to make it out to tell someone else that you can make it out. Somebody got to be able to tell the story. There would never be no word if there was no Abraham, if there was no Isaac, if there was no Jacob, if there was no there would never be a word. They all made it out. There would not be a book if there was no Job. There would not be a book if there was no Moses. There would not be a book. Moses was a messenger. Right? He went to Pharaoh and he told Pharaoh, listen, there's a lot of plagues. Something about to happen to you. Some things are going to happen to you. You got to let my people go. Can you imagine those people in Israel? Oh my God, in Egypt, they was there for 400 years. 400 years, you know, you'd be like, I ain't never going to get out of here. You in jail. I ain't never going to make it out of here. Oh my God. Can you imagine? I'm never going to make it out of here. Look at how when Moses parted the Red Sea, all of those people were, that was the great escape.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a great escape. They didn't have to make no tools. They didn't have to make no chisels. They didn't have to get buckets of water, the buckets to scoop them. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that in their own strength. Moses took the rod. Can I touch your rod? He took it and he just tapped. He tapped. He tapped. He tapped. He tapped. That's what he did. And the Red Sea was parted. And what was there? A great escape. All it took was the rod. Thy rod and thy staff that comforts me. The rod is what? The power. The rod was the tool. This was the way out. You see, you know how we be doing, we be trying to make all types of shapes and all types of put stuff together. We be trying to do all types of, if I do it like this, if I come together and put it like this, if I say that I got 20 kids, then I'm going to get all of this money back on my income tax. Let me buy your kids. You know how we be doing. You selling kids? Here's income tax time. You got some kids you selling? You know, I use that money to get these bills, you know, paid up. You know, you got some kids? You know, because we be trying to conjure up these ways to try to see our way out.
Yes.
That's what we be doing. But no, when you talk to somebody that escaped, no, I made it out. No, I became like one kid. Don't worry about it because you know you're going to get this amount of money back. It's going to work out for you. No, it's still going to work out for you. And then when you do that, they got other programs for you to do it like this. So, you know. Oh man, but I want to go to that school. You know, it's a good school, but you know, I can't really afford to go there. I don't really know how I'm going to go to that school because I know it's going to help me with my business or whatever it is that I want to do. But you know, then God will send a messenger. He'll send a messenger. You could be in the supermarket. You could be wherever you at. He sent a messenger. Because remember, now all of this stuff is happening. Remember, Job is thinking about this. Here come one thing. You're thinking about it. You know, this is what happens. When you think about one thing, it's going to draw thoughts about another thing.
Right.
Because we, as a human being, we always equate one thing with the other thing. If I do this, this is going to happen. If I do this, this is going to happen. We don't always just focus on one thought. We got to go off to the next thought. If I do it like this, then this is going to happen. We try to plan our own expected ends. We try to expect our own end. That's what we be doing. Like we be planning it. We do. This is how it's going to end. But we don't know how it's going to end. But we know when we trust God, because this is what Job is doing. He trusted God, but I'm telling you, Job, he really got on my nerves. He did. In between all of these pages, I just skipped to the end of the book. I was like, I was on 20. Job was going back and forth. He was talking about them sores. He was talking about because Job was going to begin to get sores on his body because that's the way Satan is going to attack him next. Okay? But remember, he ain't going to die because God already told him, you cannot touch my servant. But you're like, well, why he gets sores if he said he can't touch him? Okay? Let's be clear. The house fell on his kids. They died. Job is still alive. Okay? You got to understand that Job was still living. We still living. We still living here and breathing air on this earth. Yes, he may have took Auntie May, Mama Gail, whoever it is that God had taken away. And you know, we be thinking about them, we love them. Yes, these things were taken from us. Yes, we may not work at the same job we used to work at. Yes, things may be, yep. But we alive. We all looking full. We don't look like we starving, like those kids were starving. You know, those kids, they was looking for escape. It said that girl planned it. You see, you got to know the difference between an escape. Some people think that they're escaping, but they just escaping and they're going right back to jail. Okay? When you plan your own escape, you go right back to prison because you're going to get caught. Okay? But if you wait for your release date, they ain't got nothing on you. They can't take you back. If you wait for your release date, they cannot take you back. You got to understand. Now, we know the story about the kids. When I plan these lessons and God give me these lessons, right, I be like looking for something. Oh my God, is it a sign? Am I going on the right track? I just got to make sure this is the right thing I'm talking about. I be going through all of these changes. Oh my God, I want to make sure I'm talking about. I talked to my sister. We was at the funeral. I'm like, oh my God, I knew. I was like, okay, I'm on the right track. She's saying the things that I was thinking. I'm like, yeah, this got to be it. Then she tells me about the kids. I was like, there you go. Boom. She's like, you heard about the story about the kids? I'm like, what story about the kids? She's like, those 13 kids that was in, the house and they needed to get out and, one of them escaped. I'm like, there you go. Yes. Because I need God to confirm that what I'm speaking about is right. I need to see somebody walk in. I need to see somebody sit there. I need to know that the car passed by and what the story. I need to make sure that I'm on the right track because I don't want to be saying nothing that's not right.
That's right.
Okay? Go ahead.
So this morning, I was getting dressed and I heard Job. And I was like, oh, because I've been asking God what to study. And I got nervous about hearing the word Job because I know what he went through. And I'm like, normally the word just applies to you when you read it. You kind of like the first partake. So I'm like, does that mean I'm about to go? I started like going through all these motions in my head just because I heard the story of Job. I heard Job. So God confirmed it when I came here and you said, turn to Job. I said, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Right? And then the message of what I thought it was going to be, just because of myself thinking of Job, what he went through, God was saying, no, there's a way out. And then God used you to mention with school. I was just this morning doing the math in my calculator, you know me, trying to plan everything out of sending Natalia to private school because I don't want her to go to a regular school. And the tuition, I'm doing the math. If it's $5,400, that means it's an extra $540 a month. And how am I going to be able to afford this? I got to take this from here, this from here. I can't work overtime. I mean, I work overtime, but I don't get paid overtime. I work 12 to 14 hours a day sometimes. I don't get paid. I'm salaried. And then I just stopped myself and I said, no, I just got to trust God. It'll work out somehow. And then when I come here, now this morning, I didn't have this conversation with my husband. If I go to the calculator, you could probably still see the math that I did on the calculator this morning. But God just used you to say, there's a way out. And it really just blessed me.
Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
Yeah. So that's what he wants us to know. That it's a way out. Because you see, we always focus on Job. And we focus on how everything was taken from him. But you never focus on the fact, people be fearful, oh my God, Job, somebody said, I'm about to be broke. That's what we think of. Oh, they about to turn my lights out, cut my house out, I'm gonna get evicted. Whatever it is, you begin to think about those things. Because that's the first thing your natural mind thinks of when you think of Job.
That's right.
But you never thought about the messages. You never thought about how to escape. You never thought about the plan that God had. He was already showing Job. Because remember, before things happen, God will always show us. That's why we got to be aware of the sign. He was already letting Job know that there's an escape. But there's an escape. But this is about to happen, but there's an escape. But you lost all your sheep, but there's an escape. But you lost all your cows, you lost 20,000 livestock, but there's an escape. Oh no, now you don't lost your kids, but there's an escape. Oh, I love my kids. You know, we love our kids. Don't talk about our kids. We better not talk about our kids. I'm going to get back to my kids. You know how we get. But then when you lose your kids, however you lose your kids, they may not even be lost because someone murdered them or killed them. You could lose your kids because maybe they go off or maybe they don't treat you right or whatever it is that causes some form of loss between you two. You know? But you'll be like, oh, your heart, oh my God. You know what I mean? But he wants you to know. He wants you to know. There's only way out. There's a great escape. And when something is great, it's large. Okay, it's big. He do things big. He don't do baby stuff. He don't make little shanks and try to chisel out somewhere. He like, you walk up out the place, yeah, with a suit on, yeah, and you got a $20,000 suit, your shoes is, man, you walking out of here, the cameras is on you, you coming out in style. You're not going out trying to go through a hole, you're floating, you had to make a boat that got a hole in it, and you sink. He don't bring you out like that.
That's not bad.
He bring you out like that. You be like, dang, he came out. That's how he bring you out. It's a great escape. It's not some old lame escape. It's not lame. Like, right.
You were mentioning the prison, right? And I think about the story about, I forget which one of the prophets it was, servants was in prison. And they were in the prison, and the prison started to shake, and their doors open. Paul, it's what you're saying is right on, because his thoughts are higher than our thoughts.
Right.
You know, like I was even thinking about my job this week, and you know, the message that God gave me, and now I'm sitting thinking like, God, how you gonna do it? Like I'm sitting in my seat now, like in my mind, I'm like, well, how's it gonna happen?
Yeah, you be thinking that you have it all under control. How it's gonna happen?
Well, not under control. You want to know.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
And a lot of times God won't tell you how, because self will get involved some type of way.
Yeah.
So most times it's best to just go through it and trust God.
Yeah.
You know, and not. But in my head now, I'm like, how you gonna do this? Like, how's it going? You know, and in fact, when you mentioned that, I started thinking about it even more. But it's like, they were in prison, and the earth shook, and their doors opened.
Just open. That's some escape, right? That's some way to come out.
I understand what he's saying. It's like you want to know the plan, what God is going to do. You know what he's saying. He's saying, you know, that's the same thing with myself. Like sometimes I'm like, okay, I can't sit here and wait. I can't sit here and know what's to be expected. I gotta do something. So we all feel like we gotta do something. We start complaining like Job. We start acting all foolish with this crying.
Oh my God.
And then when God show us the great escape, I don't want to go on with your message now.
No,
but when God show us the
together.
great escape, it's like, oh my God, this is what I had to do all along.
Yeah.
Was just trust, was just wait and be patient.
Yeah.
And this is awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
He don't give us no little corny escape, right? He don't bring us out corny. He bring us out in style. So when people see us and we come out of something, we sending them a message. They're going to get the message. So whether they act like they don't get the message, you're going to know who I am. You're going to know that just like this word says, Job was perfect and upright. I mean, why would you still try to touch him if you were God himself told you who he was? But you still wanted to try him. God is not like me. He don't tell lies. So you still wanted to try him even when I told you. See, so this is why you got to understand how the devil do. He's still going to try something. Even though he know who you are. But you can't fall for it. Job didn't fall for it. You know what he did? He fell to his knees. It says here, then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell upon the ground. He didn't fall for the devil. He fell to his knees. Okay? He fell to the ground and he worshiped. Can you imagine? Job wanted to die. Oh my God, when you go through something, you just want to die. He's like, naked I came. I can just imagine. Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. Naked I came. Take me back, Jesus. Get me out of here. I took all I got. Remember, he's a man, so he's going to be emotional about this. You know, God is not saying that you won't be, okay, you remember the word says, be angry but sin not, okay? Job he like, oh my God. He feeling some kind of way, but it still wasn't going to affect. Now, I was having a conversation with someone about a believer and an unbeliever, right? And when it says about a man that doesn't take care of his household is worse than an unbeliever. And the young lady asked me, well, what does that mean? I mean, because what makes them so bad, like, is worse than an unbeliever? I didn't know what that means. So as we was having a conversation, I was like, listen, you got to understand this. When you're an unbeliever, you ain't got nothing you believe in it. You ain't going to have no peace, okay? If you don't believe in the Prince of Peace, you're never going to have true peace. So even when you see everybody, you see these TV shows and these people on TV shows, it looks like they have the perfect marriage. Even the most upright man that's not saved, you got to understand he ain't got no real peace. He may look peaceful, He may appear that things are going so well with him. The man that you ride next to in the truck, he may look like life is good for him, but he don't know the Lord. The woman that you work with side by side at her desk, she may look like she make lots of money and things are great and she comes in the finest linens when she comes to work. But she ain't got no peace because she's not a believer.
Yeah.
She may look peaceful, but she is not a believer. The richest man in the world, okay? You know when you hear about these stories about people that commit suicide, you would not commit suicide if you were a true believer.
Yes.
Okay? Because even believers has times when they have actions where we act like unbelievers. But you got to snap out of that. You know how when they said, when we watched the video about Jezebel, you haven't traced Jezebel, but you don't stay in that state. You don't keep doing those same things. You don't keep doing those things that you're doing. You come up out of that. That's an escape. You come up out of that. You get out of that. You out of that place and you back on. And you do whatever it is that you need to do the will of God, to do right, to be prosperous, to go forth. So you have to understand, an unbeliever, they ain't got no peace. And God wants you guys to notice because something is going on in here with somebody that you be looking at somebody else. He don't just allow me to say these things. You be looking at somebody else like their life is good. They good. You know? They look like they okay. I'm sitting up here serving the Lord and, you know, they ain't serving God, but they look like they partying like a rock star. They look like life is good. I'm going to the club next week. You know, they look like life is good for them. You know, it looks like life is good. No, life is not. It's no peace. You got people that kill themselves. They be top of the stocks. They kill themselves because they don't have any peace. But you always hear the person say, he was such a nice person. But they ain't got no peace. Those kids that was in that house, oh, those parents, you know, they looked like they were okay. But you didn't know that they was putting sweet potato pies on a counter to tease their kids and not feed them. But they looked okay. They ain't got no peace. Now remember, people like this, they always like to say they were Christians.
Oh boy.
They were Christians. They love to say that. They were Christians. Yeah, you can say what you want to say, but they weren't true believers.
Right.
Amen.
They weren't true believers. They was made up their own religion.
Right.
They made up their own thing because a true believer, they're not going to do that to their kids.
Amen.
A true believer is not going to act out this way. A true believer is going to trust in the Lord and he's going to fall to his knees. And even though I'm upset with what's going on, I'm going to still trust God. Look at Job. Job's wife told him, curse God and die. But you my wife. You going to tell me that? Yeah, I'm going to tell you that. Curse God and die. Get on the body. We was talking to people. She didn't just say curse God. She said, and die. She said, and die. You want them to die too? You don't want them to just curse. You want them to die too? That's the devil's plan. The devil's plan and the devil's goal is for you to die. That's his goal. That's his plan. He already knows who you are because God already told him, and he wants you to die. Okay? He want to tease you and put the pie in front of your face, but he don't want you to be able to touch it. You know how that's what the devil do. He want to act like he going to give you something, but he ain't going to let you touch it. You ain't going to get it. You think life is good for these people that are, they don't have peace. There's no peace. You know how sometimes even when you're in a relationship with God and you get in a relationship, some stuff that you think you should be getting, you try to make yourself think about it. I'm telling you, when you're in a relationship with God and you're really seeking, you try to make yourself, I bet you was making yourself think of them numbers. You was all over there, oh my God, you're making yourself, relax. Look how quick now you got some peace. That's a believer. That's trusting in God. Oh my God, I'm about to do this. This might not happen. Oh, what if I do this and I make this decision? I'm about to do this. Oh, we make this decision. Oh my God, stuff gonna start happening. People gonna start looking at us if we do it like this. And then, oh, this one gonna come out there. Relax. You be making yourself get worked up. But then when you get a moment, he's gonna give you peace. Because you know why? You know peace. If you don't know peace, you ain't gonna have no peace. An unbeliever don't know peace. Hi, this is peace. Nice to meet you. I'm peace. If I never shake your hand and I never get introduced to you and if I never know you, I'm not going to know what true peace is. You're not going to know it. So you can look at whoever you're looking at, because somebody looking at somebody's life up in here.
That's right.
And they looking at their life like their life is good. They don't go to church. And And even if they do, they ain't acting like it. But their life is good. Their life not good. They don't have no peace. He is the Prince of Peace. He is the way. Jesus said, I am the way. He is the way out. This is all a common ground. You may have been what I've been through. You may know somebody that's been through what I've been through. Somebody may have, but it's only one way. We all different messengers, but it's only one way. There's only one way out. You see that exit? Every door got to have an exit sign on it. Jesus is like the exit. Has to say exit in order to go out. Amen?
Amen.
Okay, we almost done. It says in Philippians 3:8, it says, Yea, doubtless, I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Christ, Jesus my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of things and do not count them but dung, that I may win Christ. Whatever you lose, whatever it is, it's dung. You know, dung. Y'all know what dung is? Dung. Dung. It's like that. Dung. That ain't nothing. That's poop.
That's right.
It's nothing. Whatever those things is, whatever you go through when you feel like the things are going wrong and it's being taken from you, or that ain't nothing. The world may say something else. That ain't. Yeah, right. It's nothing. It's for me to be better. When these things happen to us, it's for us to get a closer relationship with God. This is the goal. I'm sure Job got closer to God. Job was already close to God. But I'm sure he got even closer to God. You know when you're going through something and you start praying, but you wasn't praying before because life was good. You know what I mean? You know, you wasn't going to church before. Life was good. You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden you got locked up and you got in prison. You need some people to come see you. This is how it is. This is what happens. Life is good. Things are going smooth. Then you get locked up. Now you're going to prison. You want some visitors. You want somebody to come say something to you. You want people to talk to you. Please tell me a message. You got a word from God? God said anything to you today? Oh, you want to talk to God now? You want to talk to God now that you locked up. But when you was free, you wasn't thinking about God. It's true. Because you felt free. But this is what the devil was trying to say that was going to happen to Job. But we gonna be like Job. We gonna trust God. And we're going to be like that before that happens. Because the devil won't come. He's going to give us a sufficient amount of evil. But we're going to be trusting God before anything happens. I trust God before something happens. I'm going to trust him before. I mean, we're going to complain. Because I'm telling you, Job complained between chapter 3 or 4. All the way to 4. I said, Job getting on my nerve. That's what people be feeling about us. You getting on my nerve. You keep coming in here and talking about the same story. This is what people be saying. When you go to them complaining about whatever it is that you're complaining about, you getting on my nerve. Job was getting on my nerve. I'm reading about Job. I'm reading a book. He getting on my nerves, so I can imagine how much I get on by her nerve if I call her. Listen, let me tell you. She's like, but you keep saying that. This is what was happening with Job. He kept going, he go to the men tell him, but the Lord, no, but you don't know because you ain't got these sores on your body. This is what be happening. We be getting on people's nerves, you know. Amen. That's what be happening. Amen. And when I was reading, I was like, oh my God, I be getting on people's nerves. As I was reading, I was like, Job is getting on my nerve. I just skipped the whole book. I was like, hey, you gotta turn the page because you can't turn the page on a real person. You gotta just be like, listen, and shut them down. You can't turn the page on them. You gotta be like, I'm gonna call you back. Somebody calling me. That's my mother. I'm gonna call you right back. I'm about to watch this with mine. You don't understand. But we got something in common because you know why? She made it out.
Amen.
I told you, don't worry about that. But she was a part of the Great Escape. She was a messenger. She made it out. You gotta understand what's going on here. Go ahead, brother.
No, great lesson, but I keep hearing you say how you skipped over. I think you need to go back. Just keep don't because it could be something you're missing.
Okay.
Like you're saying, you're reading and everything's great, but you say how you skip and then you went.
Okay. Yeah, I consider. But the Lord, lead me and guide me. But I know that he wanted me to focus on this portion. And I know in between this portion, there was a bunch of complaining he was doing. So he wanted me to get to the end. He wanted to show me what was the end. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, thoughts of peace. He's the Prince of Peace. And not of evil, and for you to have an expected end. Don't expect your end. Don't start chiseling and making, planning it up in your mind. This is how it's going to be. Make sure that God showed you this way. Make sure you got evidence. This is the proof. And I see this go with this. This is how it's going to happen because I see it. I see it. And that's what gives you peace, because you already know how it's going to happen. So when it's presented to you, and they say, "Oh, I'm here," you're going to be like, "Okay." When the boss comes to you and say, "You better go clean that," you're going to say, "Okay." When they tell you, "You ain't riding on your favorite truck today, you getting on that raggedy truck," you're going to say, "Okay." When they try to tell you whatever they're going to try to tell you, you ain't it, and you're going to be like, "Okay." When you tell them kids you better clean that mess up, and they be like, you go in the room and see it and clean, you say, "Okay." Whatever it is, he's already prepared us so that we can be able to say,
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus.
He's already prepared us.
Amen.
Because you know why? There's a way out. I'm going to read this into you about Job. It happened. It says, "And the Lord turned the captivity of Job." That's Job 42:10. "And the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends, and all the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before." Twice as much. You mean I got all those kids again? Oh. "Then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters, and all they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house," eating bread in his house, "and they bemoaned him and comforted him over all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him." They talk about it. Remember that? Remember all that? They eating and they talking. You remember that? You know when you get to a point and you out of whatever you in and you be eating and you talking? So we like the eagle, we talk. You eating and you talk. Remember when we used to do that? Remember that? You know the situation that you never thought you was going to get out of? You know what I mean? You never thought you was going to get out of it. Oh my God, it'd be the whole horrible thing. You thought you was going to die. You wanted to go back to your mother's womb. Kill me. I want to just go back to my mother's womb because I don't think this is ever going to be over with. They're laughing and they talking about it now. This is what's happening. And it says, "And did eat bread with him in his house, and they bemoaned him and comforted him all over the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money." Oh, look at that. "Every man also gave him a piece of money, and every one an earring of gold. So the Lord blessed the latter end of Job." The latter end. The Lord blessed the latter end of Tawanna. Say that to yourself. Say that to yourself. The Lord blessed the latter end. Yeah. The Lord blessed the latter end. More than his beginning. So your end looks so much better than your beginning. Isn't that true? Yes. "For he had 14,000 sheep, 14,000, 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 she-asses. And, he had also 7 sons and 3 daughters." He got more kids. I'm trying to wonder, I was like, was that by the same lady that cursed you and said, I'm done, I'm going to take you off, but I was thinking, is that by the same lady? I probably have to go into it a little bit more to see if it's the same woman. Okay? "And he called the name of the first Jemima, and the name of the second Kezia, and the name of the third Karen, and all the land were no woman found so fair as the daughters. Them girls were some pretty girls. Yeah. He even had pretty kids. Look at that. Isn't that something? You want your kids to look good. "And their father gave them inheritance among their brethren." Their father, a good man, leaves an inheritance for his children's children. A good man. Be a good woman. We're going to leave an inheritance for our children's children. Now, you know you got to have a lot if you're leaving it for your children's children. You're not just leaving it for your children. You're leaving it for your children's children. That means you got more than enough.
Yes.
Okay? That's a good man. I'm going to be a good woman. After this lived Job 140 years and saw his sons and his sons' sons. That means that God, look at God. God let him see his sons' sons. Even 4 generations. Good God, it was the great-grandfather. You seen the babies. That means you want to see kids' babies? Go ahead. Oh, man. Pray that they ain't nothing. He gonna be good. All right now. It says, and Job died, being old and full of days. All right, so we know that today we have learned about the great escape. Amen. And there's only one way out. Amen. And what's the way out? Jesus. Amen. Amen. Amen.